Elder Scrolls fans know that Skyrim's magic system was significantly simplified in comparison to Oblivion's and especially Morrowind's systems. Despite this, thanks to mods, Skyrim is one of the greatest instruments to roleplay as a mage. Today, I will offer you a selection of mods I am using myself. I've prepared an easy method to install my magic-oriented mod list. Please watch the video until the end, I will provide the instructions there. My collection is governed by 3 principles. You can skip my principles with a timecode if you like. First, learning magic should be made as immersive as possible. Studying books of magic should take time, and you should also have an option to progress as a mage independently from teachers when you've learned the basics. Second, the magic should be more powerful and more diverse than it is in vanilla, but not overwhelmingly so. Your complicated efforts through immersive learning should be rewarded. But the world must also remain challenging. The increased number of spells must allow for more role-playing options, but without bloat. Third, the concept of magic mods is wider than just spellpack mods, or mods that improve the process of learning magic, or perk mods. Being a mage also means existing in the world as a mage, having the world react to your actions.
What manner of magic is this? Oh great, I'm gonna get killed by a crazy wizard.
It means establishing your own base, living somewhere, wearing something, having friends, and even having enemies. I will cover all of this. When you are composing a magic-centered mod collection, your first actions are always picking a perk mod and a foundational spellpack mod. My recommendation for you is always pick Adamant and Mysticism by Simon. If you don't want to hear the reason, skip to the next timecode. Most people who mod Skyrim pick one of the 3 established options. First, Ordinator and Apocalypse by Ni Scion. Second, Valkyrie and Odin by the same Ni. Or third, Adamant and Mysticism made by Simon Magius. Those are mutually exclusive. Do not pick less popular mods as perk overhauls or basic spellpacks, because then it is very likely that your other spellpacks and other gameplay mods won't have compatibility patches with your basic mods. If you want compatibility with as many mods as possible, then pick a popular and established mod as your perk overhaul and as your basic spellpack. Ordinator and Apocalypse tend to provide the most overpowered spell and perk combinations, while Adamant and Mysticism by Simon have the least amount of perks and spells, with Valkyrie and Odin being somewhere in between, but still more on the overpowered side. I still remember, 10 years ago or so, I was almost exclusively playing with Ordinator and Apocalypse, but nowadays I've completely moved to Simon's Adamant and Mysticism. You see, the latter provides the most balanced vanilla plus experience, making powerful mages possible, but without ruining the difficulty of your game with insane power creep. Let me demonstrate it with one specific example: the Alteration Scroll. In the Elder Scrolls, the Alteration always provided utility and defense spells with some magic that helped with non-teleportation movement. The only overpowered way to use it was in Morrowind, and it involved jumping an insane distances. It never ever included click-to-win perks. What do we have in Ni's Valkyrie and Ordinator though? Valkyrie has a perk that paralyzes the melee attacker that is about to mortally wound you, and Valkyrie is less overpowered of the two. Ordinator has a following perk, it's even more absurd.
When you fall below 15% of health due to combat damage, you briefly turn invulnerable and teleport back to the location where you entered combat.
If this is not absurdly overpowered, I don't know what is. You can also use the Alteration perk tree to boost your attributes and 2 resistances permanently without any enchantments or alchemy. This is just absurd and completely kills difficulty in my opinion. Simon's Adamant Alteration perk tree, on the other hand, simply provides you with bonuses to the efficiency of your armor spells and boosts your magical abilities when you are only wearing robes. These perks make your character better without overpowering you. The overpowered nature of NI's mods is actually even more visible in spell lists. Both NI's basic spell packs, Odin and Apocalypse, have storage spells. There is one Adept tier spell in Odin that allows you to store 250 units of weight in some alternative dimension, I don't know, while Expert tier spell in Apocalypse is even more insane than that. It has a so-called deep storage spell that grants you access to an infinite storage space. For me, honestly, this one example is enough to drop NI's mods completely in favor of more balanced, Vanilla plus Simon Rim alternatives. Why would you honestly need houses or companions when you have a deep storage spell in which you can store things indefinitely? What's the point of even playing if you have something so overpowered? It does not get less overpowered with other schools in NI's mods. Let's talk about Conjuration, for example. Apocalypse has one spell that allows you to just completely vanish a creature from the world permanently with one cast. This is overpowered. So if, like me, you want to preserve the difficulty of your playthrough, use Simon's Adamant and Mysticism as basis for your experience as a mage. Please bear in mind that all the mods I will recommend from now on are designed to work with Adamant or Mysticism, or they have a patch for Adamant and Mysticism. So if you want to use NI's mods, then I cannot guarantee that you will be able to use all the other mods that I'm recommending. I also recommend you use all other mods by Simon because they are designed to work together. His alchemy and smithing mods are very good because they make crafting skills less overpowered than in Vanilla Skyrim, and his enchantment mod that is called Thaumaturgy, among other changes, adds the Fortify Destruction damage enchantment that we really needed in Vanilla Skyrim. Simon's Pilgrim mod will give you more build options and roleplay opportunities as a mage. Now you can follow various religious cults. You can be a wizard who venerates or follows various deities that are important for spellcasters, for example Hermaeus Mora or Julianos or even Manimaco. Now that you've installed the basics, let's discuss the other key mods. The next one is Immersive Spell Learning. If you ever played Vanilla Skyrim, you all know the notorious book eating. Now things are different. Now your character will need to sit and actually learn to memorize the spell. There are also additional options in this mod that can make your experience even more immersive. As one of my viewers once pointed out, I'm a masochist, so I'll also add a minimum magical level required to even start learning spells. In my headcanon, you need to be really smart to even start learning. I also added a minimum skill requirement to start learning. With this option, you will need to spend some time with skill books or with teachers to understand the basics of a school of magic. Since it's 20, and not 25 for example, some races with natural talent for a specific school of magic will be able to start learning right away, while other races will have to pay teachers more before they can start learning the spells themselves. And this will also boost the uniqueness of your playthrough depending on the race of your character. The next mod that is absolutely important for a magic experience is one that allows you to research magic independently, without relying on book support from vendors. For this, I chose Dino Spell Discovery. This mod allows you to craft and place several workbenches that you can then use to learn new spells. Your character will have to write down research notes in various schools of magic. Then, after writing enough research notes, I recommend you to have a good night of sleep and to concentrate. A rested character who has a lot of magical energy, who puts long hours of work, will be able to compose a spell himself, without buying anything from an established scholar. You can even take a role of a professor who teaches magic himself, well, in some form. You can write your own spell books on spells that you've already learned, and then you can sell these books. You will effectively become a teacher. There is also an option to reverse engineer scrolls and staves. You will lose a staff or a scroll in the end, but you will learn the spell. Of course, there is a chance you will fail in your engineering and lose the item without learning the spell. You can also fail in your spell research, losing all the research items. Your chance of success depends on your character's magicka and skill level, and even whether your mage is rested or not. Of course, there is a very nuanced configuration menu in which, again, you can make things more masochistic and more immersive. For example, I always increase the magicka cost modifier and time needed for research. Enjoy! Oh, and also don't forget about this add-on. You will need lots of scrolls, ink, and quills for your studies. The next mod only has 600 endorsements on Nexus, but it is so amazing that I want it discussed more. It's called Dead and Daedric Guardians. This mod allows you, as you progress in your conjuration skill, to study books that allow you to build altars and workbenches to create permanent undead, Daedric, homunculi, or Dwemer minions. As you learn more books, you unlock more powerful minions. You start with basic scamps and skeletons, and you progress to powerful and creepy guardians. You can even capture the phylactery from the defeated dragon priests and then craft your own dragon priest minions. The minions are really expensive to craft and hard to replenish if you lose them, especially if you turn on the hardcore mode. The necromancy recipes are lore friendly and are in line with how necromancy is described in Elder Scrolls lore. You really should produce your own embalming fluids, apply them along with salts of various types, and then you use fabric and metal parts to fortify your servants before animating them with your soul gems. To summon permanent Daedra, you really need to perform sacrifices to Daedric deities to be awarded your own servants. The mod has an advanced command system. Unlike vanilla game, you can actually order your minions to go forward and force your enemies into melee, while you stay behind as true wizard and unleash hell on the enemy with your spells. Now, crafting permanent minions can sound really overpowered, but I am using this mod for a very specific purpose that usually does not interfere with in-game balance. You can use it for your regular Skyrim dungeon clearing, but I recommend choosing hardcore difficulty of the mod before doing so, and activating penalties for having permanent minions. You will have crushing penalties for your stealth skills, so you won't be able to sneak around while your minions destroy everyone. Hardcore mode makes it so that if you lose a minion in a battle, then you won't find a soul gem on the corpse of your corpse servant. And minions typically cost very expensive soul gems, so losing them can become a real drain on your resources. You may be wondering what I'm using this mod for if I'm not using it for normal gameplay. I am using the Guardians to defend my base. And you know what's the most amazing feature of this mod? Your base location, where you placed your altars and workbenches, can be attacked, depending on your infamy as a dark wizard. You can actually be a dungeon master who protects his dungeon from pesky adventurers who come to destroy your cute laboratory with harmless walking corpse minions and little skeletons. You can be attacked by adventurers, Vigilants of Stendarr, or random vigilantes, depending on the type of guardians you are producing. This is an amazing mod, and I think it beats all necromancy, permanent summoning, and Dwemer engineering mods that exist for Skyrim. The next mod of insane importance is Skyrim Reputation mod. Please be very careful. Only run this mod with the unofficial patch and install the improved version on top of unofficial patch. Then, this mod will have no bugs and run smoothly. There are compatibility patches between Reputation mod and Dead and Daedric mod, and also Simon's Gameplay Overhaul mods. What does Skyrim Reputation mod do? It adds a karma system into the game. The NPCs will perceive you differently depending on your race, your actions, and your skills. As you know, Skyrim's population is really suspicious of mages and lore, but now this will become a reality in-game. Practicing magic will boost your power-hungry reputation score, and the people will start to dislike you. In an uneducated province of Skyrim, even reading books will slightly boost your power-hungry score. Traders and craftsmen will start demanding greater price for their services. The guards will be more suspicious of you. If the people ever see you doing conjuration, or, God save you, necromancy, the people will hate you. If your reputation becomes too dark, then some people will even refuse to talk with you. You will have to donate to a certain shady noble, or actually do real heroic deeds to fix your reputation. If you ever become a notorious criminal as a mage, even the College of Winterhold can kick you out. And then, if that happens, you can finally roleplay as a rogue wizard, who got rejected by everyone in the world and who is paving his way in the world alone, relying only on his intellect and knowledge. Next 3 mods are small, but still very, very important. These are NPCs react to Frenzy, Invisibility, and Necromancy by J. Serpa. NPCs will now be surprised to see their friends turned against them with Frenzy spell.
What's the matter with you?
With Invisibility mod, NPCs will now be impressed or shocked to see that,
Huh? You're invisible!
well, you were standing in front of them and then you suddenly disappeared.
Damn wizard! Keep your spells off of me!
The NPCs react to Necromancy mod is the most important of the 3 of them. It is absolutely key that you use it along Dead and Daedric Guardians and Reputation mod. With this mod, most NPCs, excluding the specialists in magic, will react negatively on your practice of necromancy.
Is he dead? How did you do that?
There is a 20% chance that the NPC's disposition towards you will decrease, and they will actually start hating you. The guards in towns will even try to arrest you and assign bounty to you
I need to ask you to stop.
if you just, casually show up with an undead servant. So, be careful.
That's it. I'm placing you under arrest.
Now, let's talk about Spellpacks. Generally, you don't want to go overboard with them. Skyrim Spellpacks often end up adding either super overpowered spells, or, on the other hand, spells that do exactly the same fucking thing as other spells already in your game. On top of my basic spellpack, Mysticism, I am using 4 spellpacks. They are all compatible with Adamant perk mod. The first and most important of them is Immersive Illusion Spells mod. It is amazing. You can distract enemies by making them think they heard something. You can do a Jedi mind trick to make a target more likely to accept your persuasion or to be intimidated by you. You can, temporarily, see through the eyes of your target to reveal its thoughts, level of aggressiveness, and its resistances. Very useful. You can create illusionary copies of yourself that the enemies can attack instead of you, leaving you unharmed. You can make your enemies dance, leaving them open for your attacks, or even mind control them, for example, forcing them to attack their friends or simply to just jump off a cliff. Now, that may seem overpowered, but it really isn't. In Vanilla Skyrim, if you manage to pierce your enemy's mind with an illusion spell, that basically guarantees that the enemy is dead. A frenzied NPC will kill a lot of his friends before dying, and is almost guaranteed to die himself. A calmed NPC is guaranteed to die too, because you will have plenty of time to position yourself better to strike this NPC again. It's really the same with Immersive Illusion Spells mod as in Vanilla, but now you simply have more fun effects to use. You can actually feel like a master of illusions. The second spell pack that I use is the only mod by NI that I included in my vision. It is called Triumvirate. Triumvirate adds 75 spells for 5 mage archetypes. For me, most importantly, for warlocks, but also for shadow mages, druids, clerics, and shamans. The mod includes new summons, also new spells that help with in-combat movement, and, most importantly for me, some interesting curses and area control spells. Third and fourth spell packs I use are made by Darenii. The first is called Flames of Cold Harbor, and all it really adds are full analogs of fire spells added by Mysticism. The only difference is, the Flames of Cold Harbor use blue color and they benefit from frost magic perks. It is basically a reskin of fire spells, but I need this pack because I often play vampiric Molagbal themed spellcasters. I am also using a Darenii Spellpack called Necrotic. It is a conjuration only spellpack that adds ghost form undead for you to summon. It also adds a whole new mechanic created around an item called the Necrotic Shard. The mod adds soul trap-like spells that you use on enemies, and when they die, you get necrotic shards. Then you can use these necrotic shards to cast special spells that buff your necrotic spirit summons. I use this mod because I really like necromancer type mages, but overall I can't say that summons added by necrotic mod are something truly special. And, you know, all Darenii spell packs are like that. They are mostly reskins of spells that already have vanilla analogs. So you can pick one or two of them, depending on the theme of your playthrough. But that's it. There's just no need to install everything. You can pick some other ones if you want to, just take a look at them on Darenii's page on Nexus. There is a poison themed spell pack, also a cosmic spell pack, fire spell pack, and a shock spell pack. In my opinion, Mysticism, Immersive Illusion spells, Triumvirate, and maybe one or two spell packs by Darenii are really all the spell packs you can ever need. Everything else on Nexus is either overpowered or redundant. If you, by chance, don't really care about balance, I suggest you look at Kittytail's spell mods, especially Elemental Mastery and Winter Wonderland Magic. The spells are overpowered. But, you know, the visual effects are very pleasing to look at. There are also some mods that I recommend you install to fix the vanilla bugs in how some of the spell effects work. Please install Enhanced Invisibility and Enhanced Reanimation mods. When you played Vanilla Skyrim, you certainly got in a situation when an NPC that has no ability to detect invisible enemies somehow detects you and kills you. With this mod, only mages, vampires, and so forth will be able to detect you when you're invisible, as it should be. The second mod fixes the very annoying bug when your reanimated minions get stuck in one place. Now we are done with everything spellcasting and spell effect related. However, being a mage in the world does not only mean spellcasting and having the general public react to you. Being a mage also means having friends and adversaries. Let's talk about friends first. Everyone who played Skyrim once knows that most of Skyrim's vanilla companions are lacking. They have no personality, well, most of them, and most are only good as pack mules and fireball fodder. Happily, the mods provide several well-written characters who react to the world and to your actions, and can actually become your mage's friends. My top 3 recommendations for mage's companion mods are Lucien, Xelzaz, and Remiel. Lucien is an unexperienced Imperial scholar who is quite knowledgeable, but has no affinity for combat and adventuring.
I know a few spells and can just about swing a sword, but beyond that, I'm pretty useless in combat.
He has a distinct personality, lots of lines of dialogue, and you can actually teach him spells, which means he can become an apprentice of sorts for your character. Xelzaz, my second option, is an Argonian Telvanni alchemist. His Telvanni origins and his distinct mixture of power hungriness, intellectualism, and friendliness make him an excellent companion for a mage.
How do you feel about alcohol? That's quite understandable.
And the third option is, of course, Remiel. Remy is a Breton scholar who is interested in studying the Dwemer. She has a backstory, gives lots of comments on quests and the world, and she even has interaction with Xelzaz.
So, Remiel, why are you and our friend here traveling together?
Oh, well, they're rather capable, and I have different skills. They're kind enough to escort me through Dwemer runes.
So, I highly recommend picking someone out of those 3, or even 2 of them, to be your mage's friends. That is, of course, if you think that your mage should have friends at all. The only mage's organization in Skyrim, the College of Winterhold, needs mods too. First of all, pick an overhaul for the college itself, as a building. You have 3 options: Immersive College, Magical College, and Obscures College. I prefer Obscures College of Winterhold, because Immersive College makes the institution look too advanced with its lustratorium, and Magical College's approach to design is too moddy, I would say. For example, look at this Archmage's bed. It is clear that it was made for a mod. Now, take a look at the design of this very room, but from Obscures College of Winterhold. Much better, isn't it? I think that Obscures College of Winterhold perfectly follows a fine line between the relative wealth of a college as an institution of high status, on one hand, and, on the other hand, its decline in the 4th era Skyrim. I also recommend that you install all tweaks and all submods offered by Obscure, including finding Velek Sain, choose your own Archmage mod, and his Arcanium submod. Use the Arcanium submod with this beautiful book cover mod and a special patch, and you will get the most beautifully looking library in all of Skyrim. The Arcanium submod is the most noteworthy among the Obscure submods, because you will now have an option to receive a buff to your learning speed of certain skills if you spend some time in the library of the college. So now it will make sense to stay at the college and hone your magical crafts there. On top of that, I recommend getting a mod called Immersive College NPCs, so that the college does not feel as empty as in vanilla. I also think that entering a magical organization of such importance as college needs to be far more complicated than vanilla. It is a great idea to get an improved college entry mod, as it will give you more options during the entry exam, depending on what school of magic you want to pursue. I also always install a tuition fee mod, and with this one you have to pay money to enter the college. You know, college's knowledge and facilities are valuable, and it is immersive to have to pay for them. The biggest problem of the college in vanilla Skyrim is, though in my opinion, that it is described as an institution to receive a real education in schools of magic. And for an institution like this, it lacks any courses at all. So I suggest that you also install the College of Winterhold Quest Expansion mod by J. Serpa, that provide the new students with starter level education in magic. It's nothing overpowered. You're only taught very basic, mostly novice level spells. So this course won't do much to advance your mage's knowledge, but it is very nice from the point of immersion. This mod actually allows your young mage character to embrace the role of the student at the college. And to finish your collection of college-centered mods with a cherry on the cake, drop in the light version of the Midden Expanded mod. This mod adds various forgotten chambers and secrets to the Midden, the dungeon underneath the college. The Midden will now be more dangerous, interesting to explore. Now there will be more mysteries, dangers, and treasuries in the Midden. Now that we've discussed modding the friends of your mage and the college, now let's talk about enemies. Let's answer a small question together. Which faction in Skyrim is most likely to actively oppose an aspiring and ambitious edgelord? Mage. I think it's obvious, it is the Vigil of Stendarr. They are the ones who hunt witches, and if you are doing dark magic or communicate with Daedra, they are almost certain to be your enemies. That and Daedric Guardians mod already adds vigilant attacks on your base if you are doing Daedric studies. But let's take it to another level. Drop in Extended Encounters mod. It makes hostile factions hunt the player, and among other factions, you will also be attacked by Vigilants if you ever complete a single Daedric quest. And let's be honest, as a wizard, you will likely complete at least some of the Daedric quests. Also, install Keeper Karset Survives mod. It makes sure that Vigil's leader Karset survives after an attack on the Vigilance Hall. And this mod also adds Vigilance to the major cities. So if you are a known practicer of Daedric rituals, beware. The normal society of the major cities will include the members of the Vigil who will be more than ready to attack you. On top of that, add Stendarr's Beacon Enhanced and Brewmaster mod. Now, the Stendarr's Beacon, the only base of the Vigil after destruction of the Hall by the vampires, will become a real headquarters for this organization. Now you, as an edgelord warlock and dungeon enthusiast, will have a worthy competitors, a worthy witch hunter faction to try to destroy you.
Yes, sirrah.
I also highly recommend that you install some of the small, nice visual improvements to the magic and scholarly experience. The Strange Runes mod makes spellcasting more visually satisfying. The Undead Effects mod makes the undead servants you reanimate with vanilla spell look, well, undead, and not like living people who just got back on their feet. I've already mentioned the book covers mod, but I also use its submod that adds additional books into the game, with beautiful covers of the same design. Many of these books are about magic and about necromancy, so they will be a great addition to your collection. The last mage-centric visual improvement that I use is this potion bottle mod. Magic-focused characters are almost always alchemists on the side, so you will be looking at the potion lists a lot, so I highly recommend making the bottles more beautiful. Let us now discuss one of the last but not the least important questions, the matter of equipment. I've chosen options for men and women, for all armor types. Use Archmage Khadgar's robes, the Magnus robe, the robe options from Black Mage armor, and the Wild Witch outfit if you are creating a character who only uses robes. If you are, for some reason, wearing light armor as a mage, then you may want to use the Bosmer Elder Shadow armor, the Battle Mage armor, or the Armor of Intrigue. Heavy armored mages might like the Kinreef armor, and the cowled masked variants of Stendarr Templar armor might fit some mages too. Black Mage armor is actually my favorite mage's equipment mod. It has robes, light armor and heavy armor options. By the way, if you watched my channel for some time, then you've already seen me wearing these robes many times. The last thing you'd have to make a decision about is where your mage should live. I strongly believe that in the province such as Skyrim, where locals strongly dislike magic and its practitioners, the wizards should not live in the cities. The City of Solitude might be the only exception to this rule, with its imperialized society and big non-Nord population. So, if you want, this is the version of the Proudspire Manor that I recommend. It has a very tasteful interior, with nice selection of colors and decorations, fit for a luxury-loving mage who wants to be close to the center of political decisions. You can also live at the college, either at the Archmage quarters provided by Obscurus mod, or in your college members' room, or in the secret basement mod that I recommend you to get. If you're like me though, and you want to be an independent edgelord of a mage, who lives away from the society, I have lots of options for you. First of all, install Hearthcraft mod. It allows you to place furniture and even construct buildings everywhere you want. I only use it to craft and place furniture in other modded houses. I do not use the house placement feature at all. Now, let's talk house mods. If you are a Nord mage, you can live in a telekinesis-built stone abode called Cedar's Rest. If you miss Morrowind or you are a researcher of the Dwemer, you may be interested in Mulkazen, the abandoned Morrowind-style Dwemer facility. There is also a Raven's Nest, a cozy tower with unparalleled decorations that can go well for a mage. You also have 3 well-established options from Eleonora: Tel Ashan, Halam Shiral, and Tirashan. Last one is especially good for a necromancer. They all have the same Eleonora design, so to speak. They're all really well made, detailed, and also really small. For my taste though, they are overcluttered. Other noteworthy and well-established options for a mage is Mirel Bismarck Reborn. It really is just a slightly bigger Halam Shiral with another less overcluttered take on interior design. I can recommend it, but it's personally not my cup of tea, because I honestly don't like that it's located on the road. I prefer houses that are either fortified or hidden. Speaking of fortified, another option you might like is Magelight Keep. It is a pretty well-sized castle intended for a mage character. It has enough place for you, your companions, and your research facilities from the mods. Though I don't really like the location, it is too close to the road, and the keep is also in a semi-ruined state, meaning it's undefended. I also recommend that you consider the expanded edition of Rayek's End. It is great if you want to live underground, and it fits mages too. There are many things scholarly about this house mod. The only reason I don't use it is because I don't like houses that have massive display area with specific slots for every artifact in the game. Those really encourage completionist playthroughs, while I, in my playthroughs, only do what fits my character. Almost all of the options we discussed so far are available for free though. You get them almost without effort. And I honestly prefer houses that you have to pay for. My top 3 option for a mage is Terra Umbra, or the Floating Island. This mod allows the strong mages who have a lot of magical energy and supreme mastery of Alteration School to raise the fallen Dwemer Tower from the ground, move it anywhere, and live in it. Raising and moving it is not an easy task. The mod also has a surprisingly good interior design. The tower is detailed, but not too much. If you decide to use it, please only install it with these fixes, as they greatly improve the stability of the mod. The only reason why I put it to the 3rd place though is that I've always felt that it is really stupid that the tower is capable of floating above the ground without demanding any magical energy support from you. You raise the tower, and that's it. You are done. Plus, it's kind of stupidly bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Just look at this massive hall and how small this tower is. Maybe it is magic though. My top 2 is a classical mod, The Legend of the Eagle's Nest. A very small and cozy fortress hidden on the mountain near Riverwood. It has a uniquely cozy interior. It is kind of small though. It does not have enough place to house your companions. It has just one bedroom, plus a couple of bedrolls for the servants. But generally, it is amazing for a solitary wizard. I recommend not hiring the servants and instead using the tunnels that lead to the Eagle's Nest as your dungeon for creating undead minions from Dead and Daedric mod. My most favorite option though is this very simple Grey Hill Keep. You restore it for a lot of money and you get yourself a very simple but cozy and well protected fort with stone walls. I recommend you using some follower framework mod to remove the guards from the fort and replace them with your own undead guardians. This fort has some empty places where you can position your workbenches from Darenie's spell discovery, and you also have a place to set up the altars from Dead and Daedric guardians. You can additionally beautify it with items made with Hearthcraft. Then you can live in your small but comfortable fortified research station while also keeping a low profile. If you don't want to go, full master, I mean full edgelord, then you can actually use a Hearthfire home. However, I suggest that you use this list of small submods to fix the floor on the top tier of the building, the interior, and the lighting. I suggest the Windstud Manor, as it is close to the crypt filled with Draugr and to the swamp filled with alchemical ingredients. The Windstud Manor is also quite remote from civilization. This is a bonus too. Let's now talk about my mod collection. Of course, you need to install Skyrim Script Extender and Mod Organizer too. This is very simple, and I assume everyone knows how to do this. Then, download my mod collection. It is both in the comments section and the description of this video. Please bear in mind, the archive has no graphics mods that were not discussed in the video. I did this so that you won't have to download my 50 GB of unrelated mods. In the mod collection, you will find all the mods I discussed today, plus some basic bug fixes, UI, and script extender tweaks that almost everyone uses these days. The bug fixes are there so that you can start playing right away, or start after adding your preferred graphics mods. Don't use the bug fixes and tweaks if you already have an established mod pack. To install my mod collection, go to your Mod Organizer 2 folder. There you will see Profiles and Mods folders. Combine Profiles and Mods folders from my archive together with your folders, and now you are done. Yeah, it is that simple. Before you start playing, please go through the menus of all the mods in the pack. For some mods, you'll have to click on Start button so that they start working. If you like this video, check out my other Skyrim vids. Share your opinion in the comments, like and subscribe for more videos from the Videological Dungeon.